What if I told you that every time your dog looks at you, it's not just seeing a person, it's reading your soul? Forget everything you thought you knew about loyalty, instinct, or companionship. This isn't just another sweet story about man's best friend. It's the unveiling of a profound spiritual truth that has been quietly transforming lives for decades. A secret unlocked by a man named Edgar Cayce, who could access impossible knowledge while he slept. In one of his sessions, Cayce made a staggering claim: every single dog is on a mission, a specific assignment for its human. They are not pets, they are spiritual guardians wearing a disguise of fur. That deep loyalty you feel, it isn't just learned behavior, it's the fulfillment of a sacred oath. They register your emotions before your own conscious mind even labels them. This bond, Cayce revealed, isn't chemical, it's energetic, a direct link between souls across dimensions. Cayce had already stunned the world by diagnosing illnesses from afar, predicting future events, and describing past lives. But this insight about dogs hit different. It gave words to a powerful, unspoken feeling shared by millions. Ever stop and wonder how your dog appeared in your life at the exact right moment? Why, out of all the animals in the world, you found each other? Or why its personality has those specific quirks that seem tailor-made for you? Edgar Cayce's work showed this is no accident. It's a flawless design, a spiritual contract masquerading as simple, unconditional love. And now, almost a century after he first spoke it, we are finally ready to understand the full weight of this mystery. Prepare to see your dog for who they truly are. Prepare to understand the real reason they are walking beside you. Just think about it. The day you met your dog, perhaps you only meant to browse at the shelter and somehow walked out with a soulmate. Or maybe a lost, four-legged creature simply appeared on your doorstep. Maybe you fought the idea of a pet for ages, until an unseen force pushed you to say yes. Do you honestly think there was a random event? Cayce's discovery changes everything about that moment. You and your dog were already family, long before you ever met in this lifetime. You are bound by a connection that defies our understanding of time, space, and even life itself. In the spiritual realm, before we are born, we forge pacts with the souls who will journey with us. We agree on roles for our parents, our partners, our friends, and yes, our animal companions. Now, before we explore the astonishing details about our dogs, it's crucial to know the man who brought this to light. Edgar Cayce was no showman chasing wealth. He was an ordinary man who, through a strange illness, found an extraordinary channel, and he used it to remap our spiritual reality. Born in 1877 on a humble Kentucky farm, Cayce was a young photographer when his gift surfaced. At 21, laryngitis stole his voice, and doctors gave him no hope of speaking normally again. But then, the unbelievable happened. During hypnosis meant to treat him, Cayce slipped into a unique state of consciousness. In this trance, he didn't just diagnose his own ailment with surgical precision, he prescribed the exact remedy that cured him completely. His voice was back. More shocking still, he discovered that while asleep, he could tap into a universal database of information about any person, anywhere. With just a name and location, he could deliver uncannily accurate medical readings, foresee future events, and narrate past lives. Over 43 years, Cayce gave more than 14,000 of these documented readings. Respected physicians validated his diagnosis. Strangers he'd never laid eyes on confirmed the accuracy of his predictions. Scientists were baffled. They couldn't explain how he did what he did. They called him the sleeping prophet, because this stream of incredible knowledge only flowed when he was in his deep trance state. He himself never remembered a word he said. It was as if a higher wisdom was speaking through him, and it was this very wisdom that shared the secrets of our dogs. The information Cayce received on animals was specific and unwavering. He explained how various species serve different spiritual functions on Earth, why certain animals gravitate to certain people, and how pets can act as conduits between our world and the spirit world. But dogs, Cayce insisted, occupy a unique place in this spiritual ecosystem. They are the only creatures to have made a conscious choice, a pact with mankind. This wasn't a pact for scraps and shelter. It was a profound spiritual agreement. In one of his most startling sessions, Case revealed that dogs chose to evolve beside humanity, intentionally sacrificing a piece of their primal nature to become our spiritual partners. This is a holy contract that renews itself across lifetimes. What's stunning is that Case said all of this decades before modern science even began to seriously study animal consciousness, interspecies communication, or the emotional bonds we share with our pets. He was articulating truths that science would take another 50 years to even begin to glimpse. Case explained that a dog's energetic sensitivity is far more acute than ours. They perceive spiritual presences, see shifts in a person's energy field, and can even sense future possibilities through this sixth sense. A dog knows when its mission with its person is complete, Case stated. It also knows when it is time to depart. This is not tragedy. It is the fulfillment of a sacred duty. During his readings, Case often referred to dogs as our spiritual mirrors. If you need to learn about absolute loyalty, a dog overflowing with it will find you. If you need to develop patience, a beautifully stubborn dog will appear. If you carry deep emotional wounds, a dog with an inherently healing spirit will come into your life. The most incredible part is that Case stated these facts with the same medical certainty he used to diagnose a disease. For him, healing a body and understanding a soul were one and the same, two facets of a single, interconnected spiritual reality. Today, long after his passing, Case's revelations about dogs are validated every single day by millions of people worldwide. Owners share stories of telepathic bonds, acts of spiritual protection, and personal transformations that echo the teachings of the sleeping prophet. Case's credibility doesn't just stem from his psychic gift, but from the fact that his information has been proven right time and again over decades. So when he talks about the spiritual mission of your dog, he isn't guessing. He's relaying direct knowledge from a higher plane of reality, and that knowledge is about to fundamentally change how you see your companion. Just think about it. The day you met your dog, perhaps you only meant to browse at the shelter and somehow walked out with a soulmate. Or maybe a lost, four-legged creature simply appeared on your doorstep. Maybe you fought the idea of a pet for ages until an unseen force pushed you to say yes. Do you honestly think that was a random event? Edgar Cayce revealed a truth that will completely change your perspective on this encounter. You and your dog were already family, long before you ever met in this lifetime. You are bound by a connection that defies our understanding of time, space, and even life itself. In the spiritual realm, before we are born, we forge pacts with the souls who will journey with us. We agree on roles for our parents, our partners, our friends, and yes, our animal companions. Canine souls select their human families before they even take their first breath. In one deeply moving session, Case explained that they study our spiritual blueprint, see what lessons we need to learn, and prepare themselves to be the perfect catalyst for our growth. This means your dog isn't just an animal you rescued. It is a soul that volunteered for the specific job of aiding your spiritual journey. It knows your insecurities, your hidden fears, your healing needs, and it arrived with the exact personality to help you confront those very things. Think about your dog's character. If it's fiercely protective, you probably have lessons to learn about feeling safe and building trust. If it's endlessly playful, maybe your soul needs a reminder about how to find simple joy. If it's a calm and quiet soul, perhaps you are being called to cultivate inner peace. But this goes so much deeper than just personality. Case revealed that many dogs are reincarnations of pets we have loved in previous lives. They come back to continue the sacred work they started with us before. Recognizing a soulmate from a past life, even in a dog, is instantaneous, Case said. There's a feeling of immediate knowing, a bond that doesn't need to be built because it was never broken. Have you ever felt that? That strange sense that you've known your dog for 100 years, not just a few. That's not just a feeling, it's a soul memory surfacing. The clues of a past life bond are everywhere. Your dog might react to certain places as if they hold a memory. It might have fears or likes that are totally illogical for its current life. It may even display skills or behaviors that feel ancient, like they were carried over from another existence. In some rare cases, case revealed, these are not just animal souls. They are human souls who chose a lifetime as a dog to serve one specific person. These are the truly special dogs, the ones with human-like wisdom in their eyes, who demonstrate profound empathy and whose actions seem almost human in their intention. These souls make a cosmic sacrifice, Case explained. They step down from the human experience to become a spiritual anchor for someone they love. It's an act of supreme love that we can barely comprehend. This is why some dogs seem to grasp complex situations, why their empathy is so sophisticated, why they often feel like they are trying to teach us something vital through their every action. The timing of their arrival is also perfectly orchestrated. Your dog enters your life at the precise moment you require its unique medicine. It might be during a devastating loss, right before a major life change, or when you're about to face a trial that demands the exact support only that dog can provide. Edgar Cayce called this divine choreography. It's the invisible hand that guides our lives. Nothing is left to chance. Every meeting has a reason. Every bond has a lesson. Every relationship is a spiritual mission. And the mission of our dogs is among the most sacred of all. They arrive to teach us the meaning of unconditional love, true loyalty, effortless forgiveness, and the simple joy of being present. But they also come to shield us energetically, help us heal ancient wounds, and prepare us for the next chapter of our spiritual unfolding. The next time you look at your dog, you aren't just seeing an animal. You're seeing a spiritual master who put its own evolution on hold to accelerate yours. You're seeing a courageous soul who signed up for the job of loving you through every triumph and every tear. Why does your dog sometimes seem to be guarding you from something you can't see? Why does it get edgy in certain spots? Why can it sense trouble or odd presences long before you do? The answer is far bigger than simple animal instinct. They are your spiritual bodyguards in disguise as pets. Over generations, we humans have allowed our natural spiritual antenna to go dormant. But dogs have kept theirs fully active. They can see, sense, and react to planes of reality that our logical minds have filtered out. And they use this heightened awareness to keep us safe in ways we can barely fathom. Dogs are spiritual sentinels, Case declared in one of his most fascinating readings. They detect negative entities, pockets of dense energy, and even spiritual beings that are drawn to their human companions. So when your dog is barking at what looks like an empty corner, trust that it's not barking at nothing. It's alerting you to a presence in your space that you simply cannot perceive. This ability to see beyond the veil is why dogs have been revered as sacred guardians in countless ancient traditions. But their protection goes beyond a simple alarm system. They are living energetic filters. They actively absorb negative vibrations aimed at their owners and neutralize these dense energies in their own energy field. A dog can literally soak up to 70% of the toxic energy directed at its human. Case was clear they do this knowingly, as a part of their spiritual duty. It is a service born from absolute love. This astonishing fact explains why some dogs mysteriously develop illnesses that seem to echo their owner's own physical or emotional struggles. They aren't just falling ill, they are physically processing the energetic toxins to spare their human family. Case outlined 3 distinct levels of this spiritual protection. The perimeter guard. Every dog establishes a protective energy bubble around its home and family. They can feel when a person with negative intent is approaching, long before that person reaches the door. This is why a dog might start barking or get agitated moments before certain people arrive. The unseen watcher. Dogs perceive and engage with spirits and entities from dimensions parallel to ours. They act as a natural firewall, preventing negative spiritual influences from impacting their family. The psychic shield. Certain dogs, especially those with an exceptionally deep soul bond with their owner, can intercept targeted psychic attacks, curses, or intense negative thoughts. They absorb and dissolve these energies before they can do harm. What makes this protective duty so extraordinary is that it's entirely voluntary. Dogs are not compelled to do this. They choose this role from a place of pure love. It's a core clause in the spiritual contract they agreed to before this life. Canine loyalty isn't just instinct, Case stressed. It's a spiritual vow. They make a promise to protect and to serve, and they honor that promise with every breath they take. This profound dedication helps us reframe behaviors we might misinterpret. When your dog seems to dislike a certain visitor, it's not just being difficult, it's reading an energetic signature that it perceives as a threat to you. When it insists on sharing your bed, it's not being spoiled, it's standing guard, protecting your energy field at your most vulnerable time during sleep. While we sleep, our energy is more open and porous. Dogs know this, and they instinctively heighten their surveillance during the night. It explains why so many dogs become more vigilant after dark, even when the house is quiet and secure. Case also revealed that dogs can sense negative events before they happen. They feel the shifts in the energetic currents that precede accidents, illnesses, or major crises. This is why they sometimes exhibit bizarre behaviors or seem desperate to warn us about something intangible. They see future probabilities through the energy of the present. Case taught. An unusually agitated dog might be sounding an alarm about something that hasn't yet occurred, but is already taking shape in the energy field. This ability to sense what's coming is one of the most advanced forms of protection they offer. They don't just shield us from present danger, they help prepare us for what lies ahead. Now that you understand your dog is a spiritual guardian, it's time to learn the language of the signs they are constantly sending. Every seemingly odd or random behavior is a communication. Your dog is trying to tell you about realities you can't perceive yourself. But first, I can't pass up this chance to invite you to join the Quantum Thinking Challenge. It's designed for anyone ready to consciously shape their reality and manifest their goals. You get 21 days of exercises to rewire your mind, elevate your frequency, and tap into your full energetic power. If you want to join, the link is in the first pinned comment. Now, let's start with the most misunderstood behavior of all, barking at empty air. When your dog barks intently at a spot in the room where you see nothing, it is seeing something. Edgar Cayce taught that dogs can perceive spiritual entities, fields of residual energy, and even the emotional imprints left behind by intense past events. Every room holds energetic memories, Cayce said. Dogs can read these memories like a book. They bark to alert you to energies that might be disruptive to their human family. If your dog consistently barks at the same spot, take note. A traumatic event may have occurred there long ago. It might be a weak spot in the home's energetic barrier, or a spiritual being might be trying to get noticed. The tone of the bark is also a clue. Short, sharp barks often point to a physical presence. Long, deep barks can signal a negative spiritual energy. High-pitched, rapid barks are frequently warnings of immediate danger. Another powerful mystical sign is the refusal to enter certain areas. If your dog consistently sidesteps a particular room or becomes anxious in one part of the house, it is picking up on something that needs your attention. Dogs are like walking energy meters. Cayce explained. They feel instantly when a space is energetically heavy or occupied by an unwelcome presence. If your dog refuses to go somewhere, trust its instinct. Perform an energy clearing. Light a candle, burn some cleansing herbs, or simply say a prayer asking for the purification and protection of that space. Have you ever seen your dog just stare fixedly at something invisible? It might sit perfectly still for minutes, watching a specific point with total concentration, as if mesmerized. When this happens, your dog is likely observing a spiritual phenomenon. It could be a friendly spirit, a deceased loved one, or simply a flow of energy moving through the room. The key is your dog's reaction. If it is calm and curious, the presence is probably benign. If it is tense or uneasy, it might be an energy that needs to be cleared out. Those moments when your dog approaches you for no reason and insists on staying right by your side also have a deeper meaning. Case said dogs can feel when our energy is unbalanced or when we're under psychic strain. They move in to provide immediate protection. Their physical presence acts as a brace for our own energy field. Case explained, helping us deflect negative influences. The next time your dog glues itself to you, unprompted, pause and check in with yourself. Were you just feeling worried, anxious, or dwelling on something negative? Your dog felt your energetic dip and came to offer support. Overprotective behavior is another major sign. If your dog suddenly starts shadowing you around the house, sleeping outside your door, or acting more wary of strangers, it may be sensing a period of spiritual vulnerability for you. This often happens during major life transitions, times of emotional turmoil, or when we face big decisions. Our energy becomes more permeable, and the dog instinctively ramps up its guard duty. Tell me in the comments, what is the most unusual behavior you have ever seen from your dog? Let's decipher together what they were trying to tell you. Even food habits can be a spiritual signal. A dog that abruptly stops eating or changes its appetite may be processing negative energy from its surroundings or from its owners. They can literally lose their appetite while they are busy doing energetic heavy lifting for the family. Case taught that if a dog loses its appetite without a clear medical reason, we must ask what is happening emotionally within the household. Is there conflict, tension, or heavy energy that needs clearing? Sleep patterns are also very revealing. A dog sleeping far more than usual might be processing dense energies it has absorbed. Sleep is how they transmute that energy and purify their own system. Conversely, a dog that is restless all night, unable to settle, may be detecting intense spiritual activity nearby. They are staying on watch to protect the family during its most vulnerable hours. The most poignant behavior Case described is when a dog begins to show an uncharacteristic amount of affection. It becomes clingier, seeks constant contact, and wants to be close at all times. They often do this when they sense their own mission is drawing to a close. Case revealed it's as if they know their time together is finite, and they want to soak in every last moment of that bond. This knowledge gives us a beautiful duty to start paying attention to the signals our dogs are constantly sending. And this communication is just the beginning. Edgar Case found that dogs don't just protect us, they serve as a flawless mirror of our own soul. Every personality trait, every behavioral quirk, every issue your dog has is reflecting something specific about your own spiritual journey. Dogs are a direct externalization of their human's inner world. Case stated in a session that silenced the room. They show on the outside what we need to see about ourselves, but cannot. This means your dog is a living, breathing report on the state of your soul, its strengths, its flaws, its fears, its needs. All of it is a reflection of you, being shown through the personality and actions of your canine partner. Let's start with a classic example that will force you to reconsider everything. Truly aggressive dogs are rarely owned by overtly aggressive people. More often, they belong to people who are repressing a tremendous amount of anger or frustration. The dog is essentially acting out the emotional storm that its owner is keeping locked inside. Dog that is territorial or overly protective. Pause and ask, where in my life am I feeling invaded? Where do I need to set better boundaries? Where am I failing to protect my own emotional territory? Case taught that our dogs come to us pre-programmed with the exact personality required to shine a light on our biggest blind spots. Let's look at the most common reflections they offer. The anxious dog. If you have an anxious dog, you are likely wrestling with your own anxiety, even if it's hidden. Anxious dogs find their way to people who need to learn to release control, trust the flow of life, and just relax. They compel us to cultivate patience and, in turn, to manage our own anxious minds. The fearful dog. A dog that is afraid of everything is holding up a mirror to our own unacknowledged fears. It shows us how fear can shrink our world and keep us from living. As we help our dog build confidence, we are unconsciously learning how to overcome our own fears. The stubborn dog, if your dog is headstrong, it's a reflection of your own inflexibility. Stubborn dogs tend to choose people who need to learn to be more adaptable and accepting. They are master teachers in the art of letting go. The needy dog, a dog that constantly craves attention, is mirroring our own emotional dependencies. It shows us how our need for validation from others can become draining. By teaching the dog to feel secure on its own, we learn to provide that same security for ourselves. The independent dog. Highly independent dogs often choose people who struggle with deep connection and emotional intimacy. They model for us the delicate balance between having our own space and creating meaningful bonds. But the most powerful mirror is how a dog's physical health reflects its owner's emotional state. Case made stunning discoveries about this link. Digestive problems. Dogs with chronic stomach issues often belong to people who are having trouble digesting a life situation. The dog is absorbing the energetic turmoil that its owner cannot process. Skin conditions. A dog with skin problems may be mirroring its owner's issues with self-worth or vulnerability. Our skin is how we meet the world, and skin issues in a dog can reflect an owner's discomfort with being seen. Respiratory issues. Dogs that develop breathing problems can be a reflection of an owner who feels stifled or suffocated in their life, unable to breathe freely. Heart conditions. Perhaps the most moving connection of all. Dogs with heart trouble are often with people who are nursing a broken or closed-off heart. They are, quite literally, absorbing the heart touch of their owner. Dogs will take on the illnesses of their humans as a supreme act of service. Case explained. They would rather take the physical suffering upon themselves than see their person suffer emotionally. This revelation places a profound responsibility on us. When our dog gets sick, the first question we should ask is, what part of my own emotional or spiritual life is crying out for healing? In many cases, when we begin to heal ourselves emotionally, our dogs make a miraculous recovery. But this mirroring works positively too. Joyful, well-adjusted dogs are a reflection of owners who are living in alignment with their true selves. Loving, social dogs mirror people who are open to both giving and receiving love. Your dog's personality also points to your own dormant gifts. If your dog is incredibly intuitive, you likely have untapped psychic gifts. If it's a natural protector, you may have a calling to care for and guard others. Edgar Cayce taught that we can fast, track our own spiritual development, simply by observing the reflections our dogs provide. Instead of getting frustrated by their behavior, we should ask, what is this trying to teach me about me? When we start seeing our dogs as soul mirrors, the relationship is completely transformed. We stop seeing problems that need to be fixed and start seeing lessons that need to be learned. Have you ever had the distinct feeling that your dog was reading your mind? Communication between a person and a dog is not dependent on words, Cayce explained. It occurs via waves of thought, mental pictures, and a direct energetic link between two consciousnesses. Dogs are natural, born masters of telepathy. They never forgot how to use it. While humanity developed spoken language and let our telepathic senses atrophy, dogs kept this pure form of connection fully intact. They aren't just passively receiving our thoughts, they are actively transmitting information to us. The problem is, most of us have forgotten how to listen to this silent language. Let's start with a few examples you've definitely experienced. The thought of food brings your dog running. You're sitting on the sofa, you haven't moved a muscle, but you briefly think, I should feed the dog. Seconds later, he materializes in the kitchen, waiting. He didn't hear a can opener. He heard your thought. Shared sorrow. You feel a wave of sadness, but you hide it well. No tears, no outward signs. And yet your dog approaches you, nuzzles you, and offers comfort. He felt your emotional frequency shift before it ever showed on your face. Arrival alerts. Your dog gets excited or waits by the door minutes before you get home, even if you keep an unpredictable schedule. He is picking up on your intention to return home long before your car is in the driveway. Case explained this communication flows through what he called the shared field of consciousness. When you forge a deep soul bond with your dog, you create a shared mental space where thoughts, feelings, and intentions pass freely between you. It's not magic, it's spiritual physics. Case revealed that consciousness vibrates at a specific frequency. When two beings tune into the same frequency, telepathic communication is the natural result, and you can learn to strengthen this connection consciously. Here are the very techniques Case taught. Technique 1. The mental movie. Sit quietly near your dog. Close your eyes and create a very clear visual image of what you want to communicate. If you want him to come to you, vividly picture him getting up and walking over. If you want him to be calm, visualize him lying down peacefully. Hold that mental movie screen in your mind for a few moments, as if you're beaming it directly into his head. Don't strain, just project the image with calm focus. Technique 2. Emotional signature transmission. Dogs are masters at reading emotional energy. You can send commands via feeling. If you want your dog to be calm, you must first generate a feeling of deep peace within yourself. If you want him to be alert, you must cultivate a feeling of focused attention in your own body. The secret is to truly feel the emotion, not just think about it. Dogs read what you are, not what you pretend to be. Technique 3. The eye contact bridge. Gaze softly into your dog's eyes. This isn't a stare down, it's a look of love and focused intent. As you hold this gentle eye contact, mentally send your message. Case discovered that this direct gaze creates an instantaneous telepathic channel between a human and a dog. It's why an entire conversation can happen with just a single look. Technique 4. Ask and observe. You can ask your dog mental questions and then watch for the response in its body language, its energy, or its actions. Mentally ask, "How are you feeling?" and watch its expression. Ask, "Want to go outside?" and notice the immediate shift in his energy. The answer might be a flick of the ear, a shift in posture, or even a picture that pops into your own mind. Trust that first impression you receive, but this telepathic link goes far beyond simple requests. Case revealed that our dogs often try to send us crucial information about our own health, our future, and our spiritual state. Health alerts dogs can often detect illness before any physical symptoms emerge. If your dog suddenly starts obsessively licking or sniffing one specific area of your body, pay close attention. It could be an urgent warning about a developing health problem. Character readings. When your dog has an instant and unexplainable dislike for someone, it's receiving energetic data about that person's true nature that you can't see. Trust your dog's intuition. It's often more accurate than your own. Event previews. Dogs can sense the energetic buildup that precedes major events. If your dog is acting unusually agitated or strange for no clear reason, it may be sensing a significant life event on the horizon. The most profound revelation Edgar Cayce shared about our dogs is their role as spiritual healers. Dogs are divine instruments of healing, Cayce stated. They can absorb our trauma, dissolve our energetic blockages, and restore our emotional equilibrium. This is one of their most sacred duties. If you have ever been through a devastating time and felt your dog's presence was an unexplainable source of comfort, you have directly experienced this healing. It wasn't just good company. It was a literal transmission of healing energy through the conduit of your loving bond. Dogs have a natural gift most humans have lost. They can absorb negative energy and process it without being permanently damaged. They act like conscious energetic sponges, drawing in emotional toxins and alchemizing them into light. Let's break down how this healing actually works. Trauma absorption. When you are experiencing profound pain, grief, a breakup, a crisis, your dog instantly detects the disturbance in your energy field. It will physically move closer to you, and through direct touch or simply by being near, it begins to sponge up that dense, traumatic energy. Have you noticed how your dog becomes your shadow when you're heartbroken? How it wants to cuddle and stay glued to your side. It's not just trying to cheer you up, it's actively pulling the energetic pain out of your system. Energetic transmutation. Once a dog has absorbed this negative energy, it metabolizes it within its own energetic system. Case explained they have an innate ability to transform dense, low-frequency energy into high-frequency light. They are spiritual alchemists, turning our emotional lead into gold. The return of healed energy. After processing the negativity, the dog sends purified, coherent energy back to its human. This happens through their affection, their physical closeness, and even the loving look in their eyes. This is why you feel so much better after quality time with your dog. You have received an energetic transfusion. This isn't a beautiful metaphor. It is a tangible energetic exchange that you can feel. Countless people report that during their darkest hours, they began to heal, and they knew their dog's unwavering presence was the catalyst. Case even identified specific types of healing dogs provide. Healing for anxiety. Dogs are master healers of anxiety because their energy is rooted in the present moment. They don't ruminate on the past or worry about the future. Their very presence naturally entrains our nervous system back to a state of calm. Healing for depression. The life force energy of a dog is a natural antidepressant. They radiate pure joy, enthusiasm, and unconditional acceptance. This vibrant, luminous energy slowly chips away at the density of depression. Healing for trauma. Dogs are especially good at healing trauma because they provide absolute emotional safety. There is no judgment, no criticism, no abandonment. Their unconditional love creates a safe container where old wounds can finally surface and be healed. Healing for loneliness. The deep, soul-to-soul connection we share with a dog heals the primal wound of loneliness. They teach us that we are inherently worthy of love and that we are never, ever truly alone. This healing is amplified during sleep. Case revealed that when we sleep with or near our dogs, a profound energetic attunement takes place. Our energy fields merge, and healing occurs on the deepest, most subtle levels. During sleep, the defenses of the conscious mind are down. Case explained, this is when the most potent healing can happen. A dog sleeping near its human is actively mending soul wounds. This explains the deep, instinctual urge so many of us have to sleep with our dogs. It isn't just about comfort, it's a deep-seated need for energetic repair. But this healing isn't just emotional. Dogs can also promote physical healing, canine vibrational healing. Though purring is linked to cats, dogs create similar therapeutic vibrations through their breathing, their heartbeat, and even the subtle grumbles they make when relaxed. These frequencies can stimulate cellular repair in our own bodies. Healing through warmth. The heat from a dog's body is more than just physical. When a dog lays on a part of your body that hurts, it's delivering a charge of healing energy that can speed up tissue regeneration. Healing through pressure. Dogs often seem to know exactly where to apply pressure, instinctively stimulating acupressure points or energy meridians. When they lay on you or press against you, they are often performing intuitive energy work. Case even discovered that different breeds have different healing specialties. Large, heavy dogs are masters at healing deep trauma and feelings of insecurity. Small dogs excel at healing anxiety and issues of self-esteem. Calm, placid dogs are ideal for healing stress and hyperactivity. High energy, playful dogs are perfect for healing depression and a lack of zest for life. The most extraordinary part is that dogs offer this healing consciously. They know what they are doing. They deliberately choose to take on our pain to help us heal. Giving our dogs energy baths through time in nature, joyful play, and abundant affection is how we help them release the dense energies they take from us. It is our part of the sacred exchange. When we truly grasp that our dogs are spiritual healers, our gratitude for their presence in our lives becomes infinite. They are not just pets, they are four-legged angels, devoted to our healing and our spiritual growth. And this healing is only the start of the profound transformation they bring to our lives.